Alright, so been a while since I last made a video, mostly because of I lost interest in it. And so why am I on here again? Why am I doing this? Well, not so much a matter of expression as it is a venting. Don't worry, I won't yell or scream or shout. I won't use expletives. Because, well, people who have to, lower themselves to using expletives tend to show themselves as less than intelligent individuals, but I digress. So why am I making a video? Well, mostly because I was just so flabbergasted by what happened today in class that I felt the need to somehow collect my thoughts. So, well, basically, today in my literature class we were going through a piece and we were doing feminist critique on it, and that itself wasn't that interesting. Actually, what was interesting and what this whole thing is about is pretty much how one of my classmates just started going on and on about this subject that really raised a few eyebrows. Well, all the eyebrows, really. He pretty much just started going on and on about how this was stupid, women's issues weren't important, they weren't interesting, that we could be doing much greater things with our time. And then he just started, expanding on his whole women are terrible spiel. He just started talking about all these horrible stereotypes about how, women can't drive, or if we do drive and it's a fancy car, it's because our man bought it for us, or something stupid like that. And honestly, it was kind of out of left field. I mean, up until that point, he seemed like a normal dude, whatever. He would just talk about games and stuff like that, but then, wham, out of nowhere, women are bad! Women are bad! Women are inferior! Woo! So I pretty much just stared at him like he grew a second head out of his neck. I mean, what do you say to someone like that? Like, okay, that was kind of weird, but you're entitled to your opinion? No, you don't say something like that. You just stare at them in confusion and scratch your head thinking, what the hell? Is he wearing the Black Lantern ring? What's going on, What the hell? You can't really respond to it because there's no way to respond to it. You just stare at someone, confused. I know I sure was. I mean, sure, it didn't really help matters that a bunch of girls in the back of the class got really upset at what he was saying. And they just started saying a lot of violent things, and, his response was, oh, look, over-emotional women, oh, you're proving my point. It's like, but yeah, how do you tell someone that because of their gender, you consider them an inferior being? I mean, seriously? You're seriously saying that it's my gender that makes me stupid? Or my gender that makes me unable to do certain things? You can't really take that seriously, because if you do, your head's gonna explode because it's just so stupid. I mean, my gender? Seriously? Out of all the things that could be wrong with an individual, you choose the gender to nitpick? The gender. That's right, I'm saying it again. The gender. The gender. The gender. I'm gonna keep saying it until someone realizes how just freaking stupid this argument is. Because neither gender is better than the other. That's the way it works. Neither gender is better. No one's worse, no one's better. And yeah, I said it. Not the girls aren't better. Girls aren't better. Boys aren't better, but neither are girls. That's right, I'm not pandering to girls who, want me to bash guys. I'm not gonna do that. Because I don't believe it's right. Because it's not. There's idiots and geniuses on both sides of the XY chromosome gene pool. And it's probably going to piss a lot of girls off that I say this, because a lot of girls get away with man bashing. It's a sport. or it could be considered one with how many groups of girls I've been in where all they want to talk about is how such and so with his evil man bits, how he's ruining life, or how he's so evil and how all men are just cheaters and bloody bloody blah. I mean, that's not how the conversation goes. It's just what it starts to sound like to me after a while. Because the truth is, ladies, you can't do that. Because what you're doing is you're lumping all men in together. What they do to us, or what some of them do, because I don't stereotype. I don't. I hate stereotypes. Stereotypes are crap. And if, like, I get really upset when I watch TV, and for some reason, television finds it perfectly okay to portray men in any family fashion as these idiotic bumblers, guys who can't do things right, or, it's like, like the idiot who assumes his girlfriend doesn't know how to do this, or whatever, and then she turns out being right, and he looks like a moron. I mean, yeah, that might be true in some cases, but to put that on television, expect us to be okay with it? And girls are like, that's so funny, and I just stare at this going, no, this isn't right. You don't understand. If they can get away with making men look like that, they can get away with making us look like whatever in other situations, and they do. Which is true. They do. All the time. Like those Twix commercials, making it so like, need a moment? Here, we'll stop time as you think of some excuse so you can tell your stupid girlfriend or wife or mom or whatever some reason why you're doing something chauvinistic. Oh, and look at that. You've managed to come up with a way to fool them. Congratulations. They're idiots for believing you. Like how in all those cleaning commercials, it's always the chick. It's always a woman. It's always a mom talking about the issues of cleaning. Well, what happens to the dads? Is it like cleaning's unheard of? Most of my guy friends are way cleaner than me. I mean, really way cleaner than me. Like, one of my guy friends actually, he went into my dorm once, looked at my room, and just said, I can't sit in there. I go, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? You've got a stack of top ramen in the shape of a castle. Those little top ramen, bucket things. So, well, yeah. He's like, that's disgusting. What do you suggest I do? Throw it away. Like, okay, princess, whatever. I know a dude who can name like all the little sub-functions of certain cleaning liquids. It's really kind of funny. But yeah, it's like they expect men. What, are men allergic to cleaning? No, they're not. A lot of guys are clean. Many guys are clean. So why is only women are in these cleaning commercials or these and I'm not just talking about like liquid detergents. I'm talking about like the towel, the little paper towel commercials, stuff like that. I don't get it. And there's not a single dude in frame for most of these commercials, except for like Mr. Clean. It's like, oh, Mr. Clean, thank you, Mr. Clean. It's like, but Mr. Clean's never doing it himself, is he? He just pops up after you've cleaned it, or pops up and says, here, you can use this. But he doesn't actually clean. He just tells you about it. But I guess what would have to be considered the worst commercials on TV that segregate the genders would have to be the commercials targeted at little kids. The toys. All the little girls, all their toys tend to be towards cooking or baby dolls or something really, really, really not fun, in my opinion. I remember being a kid, I hated playing with Barbie. Barbie bored me, but my mom kept buying me Barbie dolls. My sister liked Barbie. My sister loved Barbie. Barbie, there's nothing wrong with Barbie, but what I ended up doing with my Barbies is usually they were like the victims or the damsels in distress that my Beast Wars action figures couldn't manage to save in time because Barbie did something really stupid and ended up getting herself killed. Whereas my Hawk Beast Wars Transformer doll, the girl Hawk one, would be like, oh, well, she will be missed. What was her name again? We don't really remember. Oh, well, what do we call her? Blondie number 5. Blondie number 5, yes. We shall miss Blondie number 5 and her lovely cakes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. But, and the toys for boys always seem so much more fun. I mean, I didn't play with trucks that much because I don't really understand the point of playing with trucks. Like I said, I played with Beast Wars, Transformers, action figures. That was what I loved. I love those things. They were awesome. But like I said, the commercials act as if feminism never happened. They are totally geared toward training little girls to be homemakers, and they act confused if you suggest anything else. I guess it kind of goes to the same. It goes to towards that same vein of thought where, like Fox did that one thing about Mass Effect, and they talked and talked and talked about Mass Effect and how it was a sex game, right, and how it was bad for boys and la la la. Whatever. People on YouTube have already, they've already stabbed Fox enough for me. They don't need me to add my 2 cents to it, but I'm going to anyway. Mostly not on the subject itself, but on the fact that Fox, they're expert. While she talked all about how video games affected dudes, not once did it ever enter the debate about how it affected girls. Not once. Like, at all. And I understand they're like, oh, well, the subject was about boys, but no. The whole fact of the matter is that they didn't even bring it up, even as like a sub-subject. There was no how girls, how this will affect girls and how being seen as just sex symbols, how that affects their self-esteem. No. I mean, Mass Effect isn't a sex game. I'm not saying it is because I've played the damn thing and I've beaten it multiple times. But the point is, even when they were trying to make up their really stupid point about it being a sex game, they didn't, at any point in time, bring up girls. As if the idea of girls gaming never occurred to them. I mean, really, what the heck is going on? It's a clear fact. Everyone knows there's gamer girls. But they're usually depicted as, not very good, and if they do play, they're considered a minority. When there's a lot of gamer girls. There's tons of gamer girls. There's a lot of us. But then again, the video game industry doesn't really service us. Any games that are targeted towards girls is really some sort of stupid concept, like dress-up games, or My Little Pony, or other stuff that I just would never touch because it makes my brain melt at the stupidity. Games that are all about where most of the games it's the dude protagonist. Okay, I get that. Dude protagonist. But a lot of games are like that. I'm not gonna debate the whole protagonist issue as I tend to do it all the time when I'm with my friends. But I guess what really irks me is that when they do like put in the effort to give you the alternative, the option of being a girl in the game, you can still tell it's mainly focused for dudes. The girl option is basically a different skin. That's it. That's all they really do. Like Fallout 3, when I played Fallout 3, there really wasn't that much difference. I tried both ways. I tried both as a male and female. And the male, you can sleep with girls as a dude. You can sleep with a lot of girls as a dude. But as a woman, I never found a single male gigolo. Not once. There was no dude going, hey, good looking. How about you and me? You pay me 50 credits and you and me will go onto that ratty mat over there and have some fun. Nothing, that never happened. Although that would have been pretty funny. But yeah, it never occurred. The event never took place. There's not enough difference between the female playthrough and the male playthrough. It's just kind of weird that you can tell immediately for certain games that the few games that do give you the option of playing as a girl, they didn't really put that much effort into changing it that much. I mean, I understand people are like, well, what's you bought the game for how it is. Why should it be any different for a girl? Well, the fact of the matter is that aside from a few differences, like whose butt you're staring at as they're running across the screen, aside from that, the conversations of NPCs should vary more if you're a female. And they do a few times in Fallout 3, but aside from that, there wasn't much difference. You know? And like I said before, I know it's not really a big thing anymore, the whole gamer girl kind of thing. I mean, it's more common now. Not the fact that they're gamer girls. That we already know that's common. The idea is becoming more mainstream that, oh my god, there actually are gamer girls. But I'm still surprised every time I come across a guy who's surprised that I play games. You know, and like I get this weird sort of vibe that they're just a little bit surprised that my folder, my binder is decorated with has BioShock stickers on it, or if I pull out a Mass Effect folder, I'm like, yeah, I play games, and then they just start hyperventilating. I gotta say, the funniest thing I ever experienced was once in high school. These two dudes I knew, not as friends, just as classmates. They were like, oh yeah, we're gamers. We're totally gamers. And I'm just staring at them going, oh really? You're gamers? Okay, what games have you played? And they go, Madden. I just sat there for a second going, Madden? Alright, hate to break it to you boys, but if the only game you've ever played is a sports game, you're officially on the bottom of the gaming totem pole. Because, well, I don't consider anyone who just plays sports games to be a gamer. Because in my games in the games I play, you do stuff you could not do in real life. You can actually pull stuff off you could not do in real life. Like I guess like in Dragon Age, you can kill a dragon. You can kill 2 dragons. 3 dragons if you count the archdemon. But in real life, there are no dragons. I mean, aside from the Komodo dragon, but I'm not going near any one of those. Or, you can set people on fire in Mass Effect, if you're the engineer class, which I am. Set people on fire, which is awesome. You can't do that here. I mean, you could, but they'd probably lock you up for a long time if you, unless you got the death penalty. I mean, like Gears of War, it's a game where your gun is also a chainsaw. That's awesome. But again, you could probably build one of those, but I don't think they're legal. Like, at all. I mean, if a sawed-off shotgun is illegal, I'd hate to see what, gun with reattachable chainsaw accessory. I'd hate to see how many years you get for owning one of those. In their games, what do? They're playing football. Football. I'm pretty sure that all you need to play football is a football and an empty lot. And maybe like 10 of your best friends. Yeah. I'm really not seeing you as a hardcore gamer.